Okay, as always, save your file before doing anything. Don't do any work on a file that has the word untitled in the tab. I'm going to call mine Craft Cone CAD, and I'm going to save it into my Learning Fusion folder. Then click on your 3D compass to come to front view. Make yourself a new sketch on the XZ plane, and roll your mouse wheel to zoom in until you can see this 1 and -1. All of our dimensions from our pencil drawing are less than 1 inch, so we don't want to be too zoomed out. Then come choose your line tool and bring your mouse down to the origin until you see the thin blue square indicating that you have snapped onto the origin. Click there and move your mouse upward. And before you click again to define the end of the line, take a moment to move your mouse around and explore how the line tool works. Look at these 2 vertical lines with the hatch marks coming off of one of them. This is Fusion's way of telling you that you are currently drawing a line that is constrained to be perfectly vertical, 90 degrees in regards to the x-axis. Move your mouse and you will snap away from this constraint to be able to place the line at arbitrary angles, indicated over here by this degree parameter. Bring your mouse back in the other direction, and as you approach 90 degrees, you will snap back into that constrained, perfectly vertical configuration. Okay, now look here at the parameter that defines the length of the line. When you move your mouse, you change that parameter, but you can also enter a value numerically. Notice how it's currently highlighted in blue. This means it's ready for any keystrokes to get entered into that parameter. If it's not highlighted in blue, just click and drag to highlight it. I'm going to enter a fractional value, 9/16, and when I type the number 9, the line shoots off the top of the screen, coming extremely long, but when I type /16, it comes back down and becomes 9/16 of an inch. And notice how now that I've typed numbers into the box, this overrides any movement of the mouse. I'm not going to change this by accidentally moving my mouse. I can still change my degree choice, so notice how if I hit the tab key, the selection jumps over to the other box, and I can either type the number 90 to lock it into place or position it such that it snaps to the constrained vertical position. Once I'm there, 9/16 of an inch, 90 degrees off X, I'm going to click and create the line. And as soon as I do, my 9/16 gets converted to its decimal equivalent, and Fusion, based on its current defaults, rounds my 4 digits to 3. So 5625 becomes 563. So much happens in the creation of a single line, and it's really worth exploring this tool set before getting complicated. Okay, we've drawn a line representing the height of the cone, and I'm imagining it to be right here on the line of symmetry. Now I want to make the base of the cone, and my measurement is 1/2 inch, 0.5 inches. But I'm only going to draw the line from the line of symmetry out to the edge, so I'm actually going to cut that in half again for 1/4 inch, 0.25 inches. And to make it a little clearer why I'm cutting all this in half, I'm going to imagine overlaying my pencil drawing on top of Fusion. Tap the L key on your keyboard to reactivate the line tool. Then bring your mouse towards the origin until you feel it snap onto the origin. Click to place the first point of your line there and start moving your mouse away and to the right. And notice that if you get close enough to perpendicular to your vertical line, that you will snap to a perfect perpendicularity. And Fusion will show you this with the little blue square, showing that it is 90 degrees between your vertical line and your horizontal line. Good. Go ahead and enter 0.25 and then left click or press return to create this line. And you might be watching me going, wait a second, you're entering 0 degrees. What's that about? I thought these 2 lines were at right angles, 90 degrees to each other. And they are. But Fusion also likes to think about this line in regards to the sketch's x-axis. The x-axis runs horizontal. This line is horizontal, thus 0 degrees. The third line is a piece of cake. Reactivate the line tool, snap to the top of your vertical line and the right hand point of your horizontal line. Then click to create not only the third line, but this enclosed region made up of all 3 lines. It turns light blue to indicate that it is an enclosed region, and these are called profiles in Fusion. And paradoxically, the work of creating this profile is the hard part. revolving it into a three-dimensional cone is going to be a piece of cake by comparison. Click Finish Sketch, and you will return to your solid modeling tools, your 3D tools. Click on the Create button and click Revolve. The Revolve tool needs a profile and an axis, and we made a profile. So click the Select button, and if yours already says one selected, just click this X to clear it. And then click on your triangular profile, and you'll see that one profile is selected. Now the axis, click the Select button and open up your Origin folder. In there are all your axes. Click on your Z-axis and look at that. Our triangle revolves around the Z-axis into a beautiful three-dimensional cone. And if you click on the wrong one, like the X-axis, notice how it still tries to revolve, but it gives us a very different cone. And try to notice that all the work we spent carefully building our triangle around the origin, around vertical lines that were right on the axes, made this moment a lot easier. If you've got questions at this point, make sure to ask them. There is no honor in remaining confused, especially at this early stage where we haven't yet started stacking ideas on top of each other like nested cones towards the pursuit of complicated moving parts.